With only a short distance between them, Kenosha and Paddock Lake provides totally different lifestyle choices. And it can be a huge impact on your lives if you choose wrong.
In today's video, we're going to break down the differences between Kenosha and Paddock Lake. Which one should you choose? The city lifestyle or the more country lifestyle of Paddock Lake? Make sure that you stay tuned and watch this whole video because number 3 is a doozy. Let's get into the video right now.
So the number one conversation that we need to talk about between the two is the location and accessibility to the expressway if you were to need that for your job. So Kenosha is like right on Lake Michigan, so it is nice and it has access to the Metro station, which is the train that goes to the Chicago suburbs and to downtown Chicago. It also provides easy access to the I-94, which will also go directly to Milwaukee.
Or Chicago if you prefer to drive to Chicago or any of the suburbs in between Kenosha, Milwaukee, or Chicago. Of course, Paddock Lake, though, isn't that far from I-94. It's a pretty quick drive, but it's a little bit further from I-94 than Kenosha is. So you gotta keep that in mind when you're choosing between the two.
It's going to take on a little bit, at least 20 minutes to the expressway to your commute to any of the Milwaukee or Chicago Atlanta area. So you kind of keep in mind that if you are working in those two cities and you kind of need to get on that expressway earlier than expected, I would suggest leaving 20 minutes earlier than what you're supposed to go.
So if you want that more rural feel, you like living out in the country, that more spacious feel, able to spread your legs, spread your arms and not touch your neighbors when you look out your window, Paddock Lake is probably the area for you because it's more country. It's about 20 minutes west of Kenosha. Lots there tend to be a lot bigger than the Kenosha area. You can definitely find some lots with acreage. We have a lot of clients who are looking for houses with, half acre to an acre to maybe even 3 or 5 acres. So they tend to look out in the county in the Paddock Lake, Bristol, Salem area. So that's definitely the area that you want to be in. You won't find lots that big in the Kenosha City or Pleasant Prairie area. So the housing and real estate market, Aalia, what are the differences between Kenosha and Paddock Lake? What are you going to find in the two different cities?
All right, so let's take Paddock Lake, for instance. They're going to find a little bit more small communities, more single-family homes on larger lots. Like Chad had mentioned, that you can spread your wings as much as you can more in Paddock Lake because the land or the lot sizes are a lot larger. It is also kind of a mix of styles, house styles between cottages and newer builds. So it's a good variety of choices for you to choose from. But the only caveat to this is that it is a lower inventory rate area, meaning that people do not want to move out of that area once they go in. So thereby the inventory is very small. It's smaller than Kenosha. What about Kenosha?
So Kenosha obviously is a bigger city, which means more inventory, but Kenosha also has a lot of older houses, just older inventory, but you have a lot more selection. You have a lot more newer build construction houses, newer build communities. You have a lot more choices. You have the lake living, you have HOA style communities, you have non-HOA style communities, you have everything in between. So if you're looking for something that's in between, Paddock Lake has the lake-style cottages, whereas Kenosha doesn't really have lake-style cottages. But if you're looking for anything in between, Kenosha probably has it.
So the price comparison between the two cities, Chad, what were they?
So Kenosha is probably a little bit cheaper generally than Paddock Lake, just because Paddock Lake is kind of like a touristy destination for houses. You tend to see a lot of Illinois buyers buying their summer vacation homes in Paddock Lake, especially on Paddock Lake itself. They tend to buy their summer homes in Paddock Lake there. They come up there for the summer and enjoy the summer months there and then go back down to Illinois and work during the winter months. So Paddock Lake tends to be a little bit more expensive. Typically, that's not always the case, than Kenosha. And in Kenosha, you can tend to find houses a little bit cheaper for your everyday living than you can in Paddock Lake.
So let's talk about the different lifestyle and community vibes between the two, because they are two different way of life. The Kenosha way of life is more. There's more healthcare access for sure. There's Freighter South Aurora, also the VA Medical Center there down in North Chicago, just over the border. So you have a different variety. If you are have the doctors or the specialty doctors for your health, the Kenosha is where you can be. Being closer to the hospitals is where it's at. Education, there's also a lot of more higher education opportunities. There are Carthage College and University of Wisconsin at Parkside. So it is like the neighborhood schools for colleges. And also for work, there are broader employment opportunities here in Kenosha between manufacturing, distribution, education, and healthcare. So that's all wrapped up in the Kenosha area.
Paddock Lake, you have that more slower pace of life if you like to take it easy, not move so fast, that hustle and bustle of the city lifestyle like you have in Kenosha. It's very much a slower pace of life, that small town, slow. You know, everybody kind of knows you, kind of like the Cheers lifestyle where you walk into the bar and everybody knows your name. Paddock Lake is very much like that. Most of your neighbors know you, they know who you are. You have that lake center lifestyle. A lot of people go fishing almost every day in the summertime especially. You see a lot of people towing their boats behind their pickup trucks, going to the lake almost every single day. It's very less commercialized, but you still have the essential shops there. So if you need milk on a Tuesday, you can still find milk at the local convenience store. There is a new Quick Trip in Paddock Lake. So, you know, for us Quick Trip lovers, there is a Quick Trip there in Paddock Lake, so that's, you don't have to worry about that. There's also Culver's there, so, you know, Aalia loves her Culver's.
The cheese curds are to die for.
There's a newer Culver's there in Paddock Lake too. So your modern conveniences are still there in Paddock Lake.
So let's talk about the school and the family friendliness of each city. The Kenosha has a large district, which is the Kenosha Unified School District, which has different public school, magnet schools, charter schools, and open enrollment for extracurricular activities as well. So whereas Paddock Lake, it is a smaller district, which means it's a community-oriented feel. So if you're all about the community feel, that is a good place to be. You can develop a closer relationship with the teachers because of the fact that they are there in the community as well. So the Kenosha actually has a lot of variety of museums. So if you are bored one day and you just don't know what to do with those little ones, museums are the best bet. Most of the museums here in Kenosha are free to the public. They are always looking for donations, so if you find it in your heart to donate, that is where it is. Civil War Museum, you have to pay to enter, but it's totally worth it. We also have Kingfish Stadium, which is the minor league baseball stadium, which is it gets a good turnout almost every night of their games. There's an outlet mall right here in Pleasant Prairie, right next to Kenosha, and also they have a variety in there. Every day there's a new restaurant, a new type of restaurant coming on to the market here in Kenosha. So there's a lot more variety of that.
So in Paddock Lake, you have a much bigger outdoor recreation scene. You know, if you like to be outdoors and spend your time outdoors, enjoying the sunshine, you know, Paddock Lake is probably more of a better choice for you, but just because Kenosha is more urbanized, there isn't as much choice for you outdoors to spend your time.
Well, both of them actually provide different types of beaches. There's a couple of beaches here in Kenosha, so right off of Lake Michigan, whereas Paddock Lake, they have beaches right off of Lake Paddock, the Paddock Lake. So we can't talk about the real estate without talking about the cost of living and the taxes that both cities have. Like Illinois, they will tax you. So Kenosha has a slightly higher property tax.
Just a little bit higher.
But more conveniences like big box stores, hospitals, the job centers nearby, and again, the education is there as well.
So what are we looking at in the future? So in the future, Kenosha continues to grow and expand, especially west of I-94. Kenosha continues to annex more and more land west of 94 and continue to grow their infrastructure and build more houses and build more business. west of 94, continue to grow their footprint west of 94, and expand the city and improve the city. And how about Paddock Lake? What are they looking to do?
They're looking for growth as well, but a little bit more control over time, and because they want to make sure that community focus is still there, and maintaining that small town structure and the feel of Paddock Lake. So it's a little bit more controlled, a little bit more calculated over Kenosha.
You're trying to keep that small town charm feeling.
Mm-hmm, exactly. So the key takeaways from this video is that Kenosha actually is best if you want more opportunities, more access to services such as hospitals and your doctors, specialty doctors, etc. At schools, jobs, and all the cultural activities, extracurricular activities. Kenosha will be your best bet.
Paddock Lake is probably best for if you want quiet space and more of a lake-centered life. If you're more outdoorsy, if you like the camping, if you like the lake lifestyle, if you like to boat every day, if you like to be outside, if you're more of an outdoorsy person, then Paddock Lake is probably more of a better fit for you.
So I just want to reinforce that neither are better over the other, but it's about how your life is or your lifestyle is as a family. So which one fits better in your life?
Which one fits your personality better?
So at the end of the day, Kenosha and Paddock Lake both have their strengths, and they also both have their downfalls. The right choice actually depends on what your goals, your lifestyles, and what your budget actually calls for.
So if you're considering a move, you don't have to do it all by yourself. Make sure you give us a call or shoot us a text at 262-331-1621, or grab one of our free guides down below here in the description of this video. We're happy to help and can't wait to hear from you. We hope they have a fantastic rest of the day. We can't wait to see you in the next video. Have a great day.
With only a short distance apart, but the lifestyle's okay. Give me a second. So just a short distance apart, but the lifestyles are in two different.
Do you want to start with Kenosha or Paddock Lake?
Hold on. Give me a second.
Okay.
Lifestyles and can be, I don't know, I want to try something like off the cuff but incorporate it.
What do you think is best for you?
Slow it down, don't rush it. You tend to rush it. You're rushing it.
I don't even know what I said now.